Welcome back, or welcome if this is your first time. We back at it with video number 2. It is new comic book day, Wednesday, September 10th. We still haven't gone to the comic book store. We have to still do that. But before we do that, I wanted to do my top 5 comics from last week. So let's get into that real quick. Alright, so getting into my top 5 from last week, I'm going to try to do this a little quickly so we can get to the comic book store. But first off, we got Imperial War Exiles and Imperial War She-Hulk. I put She-Hulk number 4 above Exiles just because She-Hulk surprised me. I knew that she was going to be, spoilers really quick. Okay, I knew she was going to be back home on her planet of Sakaar. So, or not her home planet, but I guess her family's home planet of Sakaar. And I thought it was going to be, or Sakaar, one of the two. I thought it was going to be a little bit slower. But it actually wasn't. There was a whole thing going on that planet during the time of Exiles. And if you have read, or not during the time of Exiles, during the time of Imperial, and if you read any of Imperial, you know that it's more than just one planet. And the planet that she's on is kind of outside of it, at least the actual planet and not the government. All right, I'm kind of yapping, so let's move on. We got Cheetah and Cheshire rob the Justice League. I'm not going to lie, this has been surprising me back-to-back weeks. It had one of my favorite villains, which is Clarion and Tikal. If you watch Young Justice, you already know he was a big part of it. He was in it for like at least 2 seasons. Like, he was just a reoccurring character and was a pretty big part of it near the end. I love that character, and I loved his comic book adaptation as well. Next, we got Absolute Superman. We got to see a little bit of unhinged Absolute Superman in this comic, so that was really cool. And what can I say? That series has just been a banger all around. It's every issue just keeps knocking through the door, or knocking the door down. I don't know what I was trying to say there. But with number 1, we have my favorite comic by far, and I know it's probably gonna be cliche because it's probably everybody else's number 1, but it was truly just that good. And we have Batman number 1. Not only is this my favorite comic of the week, but it also has a panel of the week. Shout out to Speed Sultan, who does the quote of the week. I kind of took that, put my own twist in it with the panel of the week, and kind of cheating, I guess. Hopefully you guys can see this, but look at that Gotham, bro. Like, I don't know. They snapped. They really snapped with this issue. The art, the writing, everything was just so good. Again, I'm pretty new to comics. This is probably like, what month are we in? September. This is my 4th month collecting, so I really haven't read a ton. I feel like I've read a good amount for the time I've been, but that has definitely took the cake as one of my favorite comics that I've read so far. And I'm not even the biggest Batman fan. I'm more of a Bat Family fan. But anyways, that's pretty much it for the top 5 from last week. So we got some comics to go cop. I'll be back once I go get those, and I'll update you guys when I get back. Yes, sir. You already know we got the bag secured. We're a little over budget this week. I usually like spending around like $50, a little bit under $50 to be honest, and I think I spent $55 this week, but you know, that's okay. We had one missing from last week that they made up for this week, even though I still got that comic. But let's get back to the HQ and we'll go over these comics. And just like that, we back at HQ. We got the little stack, you know what I mean? Went a little bit over budget. I think I spent like 55. My budget is usually around like 50. I like to spend under $50, especially if it's just single issues. I'm willing to go over if I'm getting a couple trades or something like that. But just in single issues, I really don't like to spend over $50 every week, especially because I'm turning into a Wednesday warrior, as they call it, or whatever. But let's get right into these comics. I don't really know about the camera angle. Again, I'm trying new like setups. I don't even have it on a stand right now. I have it like on like a mason jar full of key switches for my keyboard. But we'll see. So getting straight into these comics. First up, we got Captain America number 3. And if you guys can't see it well, I'm just going to put it up on the screen somewhere where you can see it. Number 3, just a regular base cover. This story has been great if you haven't read it. I've never been a big Captain America fan, but after reading this one might be one of the ones. Actually, I'm gonna save this for a second because I want to talk about that one. Next up, we got Superman, the Kryptonite Spectrum, number 2. This is a black label, so I think it's like considered elsewhere, if I understand that correctly. So it's not a part of the main continuity, but it's still a very cool story. I'm always a sucker for like adding new powers or like things like kryptonite, like adding a bunch of colors of kryptonite and then kind of exploring what that does. That's a perfect story for me. And next up we got New Gods number 9. This has also been a really good story. The art is phenomenal. I kind of want to go back and get all of the single covers. I believe it's 1 through 6 that the first trade got, and just have them for the art. Next up we got Absolute Wonder Woman number 8. I have 1 through 6, and I know the trade came out that's 1 through 7, but I would feel so silly getting a trade just for number 7, and I haven't been able to find 7 anywhere. I have like 5 comic book stores within like a 20-30 mile radius. I hit all 5 like a couple times since its release. I think it's been like 3 weeks, 4 weeks since I started looking for number 7, and nothing. So I just decided number 8's a new story. Start off with that one. These next 2 are part of the same story. So first up we got Exquisite Corpses number 3 in the variant cover. I believe this is a B or C cover. One of the killers, and then Exquisite Corpses number 4. This is the B cover, I believe, of the Fox. This has been a really cool story. I wasn't sure. It was one of really my, I don't want to say out there indie stories because it's still Image Comics, but it was definitely one of the more unique indie stories, I guess, per se, or one of the only indie stories that they have like a hero or like a superhero type thing, because even Radiant Black is like superhero-esque, more Power Ranger. But next up we got one of my favorite series at the moment, Imperial War, and we got Nova Centurion. I've been super hype about this one. If, like I said with the top 5 earlier, Exiles and She-Hulk, or Planet She-Hulk, were both in that, so I expect that to be better than both of those, honestly. And that's a little bit of personal bias just because I do like Nova a lot. Next up we got Green Lantern number 6. So I already got this last week, but my LCS was short on main covers, so they just went ahead and threw it in my box. Another pretty, I'm not going to say great story, but I think it's a pretty good story. It's just really slow, and I'm hoping they extend it to be longer than it's supposed to. I think it's only supposed to be like 12 issues right now. I can tell you right now that's not going to be enough. But next up we got Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion number 4. Yeah, number 4. Another really good story. I've been iffy on it sometimes, and then actually read it, and it's been pretty good. So I'm gonna continue picking it up until it kind of falls off, because I have fallen off some of the Ultimates, like Black Panther. I fell off around like 12 or 11, I believe. And then same thing with Ultimate X-Men. I fell off around 10. So yeah. Next up we got one of my favorite, not Ultimate, but Absolute stories, which is Absolute Batman number 12. We're getting closer and closer to the reveal of Black Cat. And in this issue, I believe, if it's going according to last story and I remember it correctly, we should get a debut of a couple villains, like 2 or 3, if I think it's going to go the way it's going to go. But I saved this one for last because not only do I want to read it on camera today, but I also wanted to show off last because it is the most controversial one this week, and that is Red Hood number 1. So I heard... Stating that he should have murdered Willa. That was my previous part. Is that he's not finding a way to think of this way. So I don't know. I don't really know what to think, but there's parts of it seems kind of over it, or maybe like he wants to be better because it's something bad. About some things, but he's still angry at Batman, but he wants to the Joker. everything for this week. Yeah, man, that is everything for this week. That's all I got. This new comic book's my top five from last week, and then we even reviewed the Red Hood. Hopefully this week, and I'll make another video talking about like stuff like my pull list and things like that going into next week. What I'm thinking about copying for the future, trades, all that stuff. But I appreciate to anyone who's watching it, and I will catch you on the next one.